external comparative. So you have there the commissioner's wages, low and high, in some cases are the same, for Deschutes, Lynn, Yamhill, and Benton County, what that average looks like. One of the things that I think is important to point out, and the commissioners are unique in this, in looking at an apples-to-apples comparison or an apples-to-oranges comparison. You look at their comparators, Deschutes, Lynn, Yamhill, and Benton County, they all have at least one county administrator, if not two. And not only do they have a county administrator, they have a county administrative staff as well. So in the case of Deschutes County, they have a county administrator that's making somewhere between $168,000 and $207,000. They also have, I don't have included on here, a deputy county administrator that's somewhere between $130,000 and $150,000 as well. A full administrative staff that are handling the delegated authority to handle administrative responsibilities of counties. So same with Lynn, same with Yamhill, same with Benton. I also included comparators of Lane, Marion, Jackson, Josephine, and Polk counties. The only one of those that does not have a county administrator is Josephine County. So again, we're a little bit here comparing apples to oranges in that our county commissioners are the county administrators, and they have they share one administrative staff person between the three of them. So that's the external comparators. Internal comparators. So you all have heard my recommendations around the assessor, the surveyor, and the county clerk. When you look at those scope of responsibilities, so that at this point, if the recommendations get forwarded in the budgeting process, the assessor would be of the non-sheriff elected officials, would be the highest paid county elected official. And the scope and size of that department, compare that to the scope and size of the operation of the work of the commissioners. We know the work of the sheriff, again, internal comparators, scope and size of the operation and work there. So again, some of this is a science, some of this is an art. There's no set guidelines on what you pay an elected official. So, but just looking at the methodology that I apply everywhere else, external comparators, internal comparators, my recommendation was, to set that commissioner's pay somewhere 20% above the assessor or somewhere 20% below the sheriff. Coincidentally, that's right in the middle between those two. 20% below, 20% above is almost exactly the same. And so my recommendation is you pick one or the other, but you set that in terms of ongoing methodology, 20% either above or below the assessor or the sheriff. And that's my recommendation.
Michael, where does this rank, where do the commissioners rank in the overall pay for the county views? Are they number 12, 14, 15? Do you have anything off the?
Do you have that, Dan? I know that every single
department head makes more,
nearly every
Nearly,
single.
that's not.
There's a few small departments that it's not true, but
Yeah.
they're probably and then there's deputy district attorneys that have higher pay, that are, so non-department heads. We have certain engineering staff that would have higher
IT
pay.
staff, yeah.
So there is, I can get you an exact number, or maybe staff can look that up quickly here while we're in the meeting. But there, if I just had to choose pick one out of a hat there's probably 20 employees
Yeah.
that earn more than the
How
county
long would
commissioners.
it take you to get that number for us? What ranking they are?
I'll be right back.
Thank you very much. I would like to know.
Yes.
I'm just curious. Can I know?
I know that, I think that's always been in our budget book. And it's surprisingly,
Yeah, I'm looking at last year's Tom, and which was sitting right next to me, so I could have just glanced to my left and told you what last year's was, but it is roughly somewhere around 20 different positions that make more than the commissioners.
And the commissioners are those 20 positions, they're the boss of those 20. They,
So they're the administrators of the county, so some of these positions fall under other elected officials. So, so you're talking about your deputy district attorneys, when you start talking about lieutenants and sergeants in the sheriff's department, there are some finance positions in there as well, and then of course department head positions. And so, they're overseeing the budgets for all those positions. They're approving most of the policy decisions for those departments.
I've all along thought that we had paid, and of course, I don't know how many times we've offered the increases, and they've either not taken them to the max of offered, or they've denied them. So, I would like to have that opportunity for them to amongst themselves, if they take what we recommend, that's fine. If they deny that, that's up to them. Or if they want to do something in the middle, that's up to them also. Is that's correct?
That's how the process will work, yes,
Yes.
it does go to them. Dan just got back.
There are 28 positions that are paid higher than the
28.
28.
Okay. And I really think that, I know when we go over the budget of the commissioner's office, I believe, if I'm correct, they have reduced staff from 3 people down to 2, is that right?
2 to 1, right? Yeah.
We've gone from 3 to 2 to 1 over the last 3 years.
Okay. There's only one staff. How many commissioners left?
Yes, that is correct.
Are we looking at, is there an opening that hasn't been filled?
There is not.
Wow.
so they have one staff member doing all the support for all 3 commissioners.
That is correct. And when that staff person has to be gone on extended vacation or extended sick leave, my department HR works on finding some backup staff elsewhere in the county to help fill in that office.
Do they have backup staff available even when that person is there, if they have a large project to be worked on?
Not on a regular basis, no.
Are the commissioners doing that work themselves, the secretarial type work?
They are handling a lot of their own administrative work, yes.
Well, I would recommend that we give the commissioners that range, which is HR's recommendation, better than 20% below the sheriff's, the $103,700, that recommendation salary. And then, of course, it's up to the commissioner to do with that.
And just a question, would that be setting the policy from then on, or just this time?
No, the compensation committee would reconvene annually, and reconsider. I would come back and reiterate the methodology that I use and why I came to that conclusion, but at any time that compensation committee can make a change or go in a different direction. Again, my hope would be is if we get it set this time around, what we'd be looking at going forward, as Tom alluded to earlier, we'd be just looking at regular claims. Okay.
So once we do this, then we'll be caught up. Even in the past, they were still underpaid in comparison.
Barring some unforeseen issue that I can't, predict, I would assume then that we would be